Hi and welcome to Terry Travels and welcome to Werribee Zoo. We're going through the zoo, we're going to see the elephants, all of that, because there is the zoo entrance. And just beyond that is one of my favourite Australian flowers. That big tall bugger there, the Gymea lily. They are fantastic. It's about 2.5 metres tall, that one. And it's doing really well. They've got a few of them around here and they grow naturally. They're local natives. But they're enormous with one big flower at the top of them. And there's the sign talking about the wildlife and things like that. And we're going to head down to the entrance now. We're still a little bit early, but we're going to go to the entrance to the zoo. And you can hear all the bird song, which is great. I've got an annual pass to all of the zoos in Victoria and in New South Wales as well. And so I don't have to pay to get in here, which is kind of groovy. There's a big sign, Werribee Open Range Zoo. So this is an open range zoo. It's not one of the pokey little buggers we used to have and that I spoke about on my other channel. Just a little while ago. There's a ticket office over here, which is in kind of fake safari buses. And there's your exit through the gift shop. But as I said, we're a little bit early. But nonetheless, we can check out some things like bird of paradise here, which grow really well around here too. We've got a couple of them at home, but I love a good bird of paradise, though I'm not particularly a plant guy. And I've got a special fast track I can get through if I've got a pass, which I have. Visit the zoo shop and buy a tote bag and help save the southern bent-winged bat. Good, hope they do. Here's a very festive kangaroo near the tourist information place. And it looks like Diwali's coming up. We've got a big Indian diaspora population in the area, and so the Diwali festival's coming up soon, which is going to be very cool. And on the local social media we always get tons and tons and tons of racists complaining about the Diwali festival, and it's amusing that we can annoy them with people celebrating things. There's some more of the birds of paradise, but I'm still a little bit early. Still about another 14 minutes before things open, and then I'm going to get a coffee. We're going to see some meerkats in the coffee shop. There's the Members Express line, which is the one I get to use. Just not used to having privilege, but that's a privilege I've got. You can kind of see into the zoo there. And there's the welcome sign. So I'm going to wait until we get in with the ticket, or without a ticket, and start checking out the sights. And given that I'm the first person here, I'll bet I'll get a good seat to check out the meerkats. Just checked out the sign up here. It's $57 for adults to get into the zoo and $43 or something concession. So I'm saving myself a shit ton of money with an annual membership, which I think is about $99. If you might remember from a previous video, I went to the Melbourne Zoo on one of the busiest days of the zoo. But it's nice and quiet here. It's a Tuesday. It's before any school crowds get here. It's not school holidays, and so I should get a pretty good view of the zoo this time. Okay, we're in and we're going into the meerkat bistro so I can check out the meerkats. I'm going to get a coffee, maybe a cake, and see how we go. there's nothing better than meerkats. So we're heading over to the elephant trail now, which is the new stuff I haven't seen yet. So now that I've happily seen the meerkats and had a coffee and a bit of breakfast, it's time to do some elephant stuff. And you can find the elephant trail pretty easily because there's this little bugger guide the way. Okay, I think I'm heading in the right direction. I may not be, but you get lost, you find new things like these. And yep, I'm heading in the right direction. There's a sign over here that says elephants this way. There is the safari stuff over to the left there, but I'm going to check that out after I see the elephants. I'll do the elephants first. They're going to get a lot of people at them later. And they've landscaped all this really nicely, putting in a whole bunch of acacias and other things, kangaroo paw, a whole bunch of other local plants. And I'm having a good day in spite of the somewhat cold weather. I think there are either 7 or 11 elephants in this place.
The camera going, excellent.
Yep.
Guys, that way.
Got a big bronze giraffe here. Very cool. Apparently I take the path to the right between the ponds, and that's where the elephant's going to be, according to the zookeeper, and I believe him. So this is all new to me, haven't been here. Some camels over there too. Cool. Because the elephants used to be at Melbourne Zoo, and their habitat was a lot more limited and less interesting. But this is big. And the sun's come out, so it's got a tiny bit warmer. Getting my steps and getting to these elephants, I can tell you. Saw my doctor yesterday and he said, if you get puffed out, you're walking the right way. So if you hear huffing and puffing, I'm huffing and puffing under doctor's orders. Wow, this is an enormous habitat. Even though it says ostriches there, the ostriches and the zebra have swapped habitat. So there's a zebra. Hang on, let me just adjust the camera right. There's one here up here near the fence. Good thing here too is the path, even though it is dirt, it's very accessible, and so people can bring wheelchairs and other things for people with disabilities to get around. And there's that sunlight again, yes. Okay, so they say take the path to the right in between the two ponds, and this is where the elephants are, so hopefully we'll see them soon. Heavy duty fencing there, it's like Jurassic Park. It's a kilometre loop around here, so let's see what we can see. And they've got a sand pit there. And they have an electric fence. And this here is the elephant's barn. So when the weather gets shitty, they can take shelter. Playing with the stuff in the basket. Just got to shade it for you and zoom in a bit. There's a mother and baby. Cool. And the glass is tinted, so it makes it a little hard to see unless I shade it. But they're definitely there. There's 2 adults there at least. Over here. Don't blame me being inside. The wind's a bit cold at the moment. And there's a big one reaching for the food in the baskets. Those elephant poos on the ground are pretty enormous as well. Each one of them is bigger than a cricket ball. But let me just keep the shade going. Ooh, here comes someone. Very cool. This is worth the walk because they're only about 5 meters away from me. They're not far away at all under this grass, but the barn habitat's quite nice for them. Let's see if there's anybody outside. Might not be, in which case I'm going to do the rest of the walk elephant free, but here's where they come out of the barn, which is an enormous reinforced concrete structure. They're not going for aesthetics here, but it's a good place for them. And their habitat is just really, really big. I wish I had a habitat this big. But I'm going to do the walk around. We'll go and look at some other animals. I've seen the elephants, and the elephants are doing fantastic. And I'm feeling really kind of glad that the money I pay for a zoo membership has partly gone to building this enormous habitat for the elephants. And there is a breeding program for them as well here. And all these big iron stanchions and wiring and things are all recycled material. They're not new stuff. They basically use recycled I-beams and other things to do the habitat for the elephants, which is very cool. And the elephants can even go over here if they open the gates. So there is a possibility, apart from echoes, that people can walk beneath the elephants, which could be dangerous if the elephants suddenly need to take a piss. But that's the risk you take at a zoo. And they've got big sunshades over there in the distance. Whoops, nearly walked into a park bench. But yeah, this habitat is incredibly large. And I'm going to come back here when the weather's warmer and just see the elephants out in the habitat, because with these cooler winds like we have right now, and the temperature's only like 12 degrees, they're wisely staying inside the barn for the most part, which, looking back, you can see it over there. Big habitat for the elephants. And even these big poles over here all have stuff for the elephants to reach up and play with. So there's a lot of stimulus for the elephants in all of these habitats, which is fantastic. It's impressive how large this is and how far it extends. And yes, you've got the freeway next to it and the traffic going between Melbourne and Geelong racing along the freeway, but really I'm just so chuffed with this habitat. It's amazing. I don't know anywhere else apart from elephants in the wild where there's such an extensive and kind of interesting and varied habitat. So they've got water, they've got sand, they've got rocks, they've got logs. They've got all these different stimuli to keep the elephants, which are incredibly intelligent animals, happy with this this habitat. It's just amazing how big it is. I didn't even know the zoo owned this much land, but so bloody happy it does. They've also done some nice planting around here, which is starting to bloom in the springtime. Yeah, crazily impressive. And yeah, the variety of terrains and the variety of the habitats. And look, enormous bronze or steel or something elephants here. And there are a lot of toilets. There are also a lot of water refilling stations here. It looks like people have already been stroking the tusks on these buggers. The elephants we've got here are Asian elephants, not African elephants. But there is a good breeding program for them. And it's paying off because they do have some babies, as you saw. And a lot of water they use here comes from the treated water from the sewage treatment plant. There's a lot of recycled water, and they didn't quite know what to do with the recycled water about 20 years ago. And so what they've done is recycled the water into market gardens, so like our fruit and veg, and they've also given it to the zoo. And we've also got the Werribee River right next to the zoo here to get water. You can even get food here. Look, there's another cafe out here. You get an iced matcha latte if you want to. So we're heading back to the main zoo after meandering the kilometre or so around the elephant habitat. The other thing I think is cool around here is the zookeepers are really encouraging people to take photos and videos of the area where the animals are, because the publicity helps the zoo. So if you're ever in Melbourne, you can get out here. If you don't have a car, go to Werribee Station, and during the daytime they have buses out here to the zoo from the station. You should do it. It's just an incredible part of the world, and it's in my neighbourhood. I love the fact that my neighbours are zebras and elephants and giraffes and rhinos and all sorts of animals, meerkats. It's just amazing and wonderful, and this is one of my happy places. Let's do the safari tour. Safari is not until 10:40. So I might come back and do that another time, because it's not yet 10 o'clock and I want to see some other animals. So let's do that. I think the gorillas are up here.
Probably doesn't.
So no gorillas because they're hiding. Can't see the lions because the lion enclosure is being renovated. Let's see what we can see. Might get some hippos. Let's see if we can find some hippos. first few of the cheetahs I've got so far. They were a bit reluctant previously. They found out recently by looking at ancestral bones of pre-human creatures that cheetahs used to eat the faces of our ancestors. So there is that. Let's find some hippos. I found some hippos. That one looks like it's having a whiz, but it's not. But even the fake hippos get some water. Down here's where the real ones are. And hopefully we can spot them because they're usually pretty easy to find, the hippos. So we'll see how we go down here. See, I'm very good at spotting hippos and cheetahs and stuff because my ancestors used to get their faces bitten off by them. And there they are in the distance. You can see them there. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. But yeah, the hippos are there having a feed. It looks like they're eating cabbages from what I can see. So why not? But yeah, here's their water area. But the hippos are always easy to find at the zoo. We'll get another angle. There you can see them between the trees. Just gorging themselves. Here's one I cooked earlier. So we go around the hippo habitat with the wonderful fake flamingos we've got here. Wonder if I can get another angle on the hippos around here. I might be able to. Yes, I can. There we go. We've got a surfeit of hippos today. And the ducks swimming in the hippo pond. But mostly hippos. All the other times I've seen the hippos here, they've been in the water, so it's good to get them while they're having a feed. They're actually eating hay from what I can see. So good on them. And we have a fake boat here with the best view yet at water level of the hippopotami. Let's do a zoom. Hang on, let me just adjust the camera. There they are. I found a lovely little picnic area where you can have your lunch next to a running creek, which is kind of cool. These weren't running before. I think they may have renovated them a bit. And now they're really pleasant. And also, when the weather gets warmer, it's going to keep the area around the animals cooler by having the running water there. So that's kind of cool. Got to get these people to landscape my backyard. Because they do a bloody good job. This is not natural. This is all human created. And it's marvellous. So I'm going to leave it here and do the rest of the zoo another day for you. Because I want to do it all justice. And putting it all in one video probably won't do that. So thanks for watching. Thanks for coming along on the trip. Seeing the elephants and all the other things. And the hippos. Usual things. Give us a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think of these kind of videos. You can also support the channel by becoming a patron at patreon.com. / Terry Talks Movies. I'll be back in a week with another video on something else, and I'll come back to the zoo later, and the weather will be better. So until then, travel well.